morning. Welcome to online classes. English for class 11. So children, which lesson did I teach you? Yes, you got it right. Tut, the saga continues. And very often, let me tell you, even last year, I came across an article in the newspaper about Tut. So I think the archaeologists are still trying their best to unveil the mystery of what? How did Tut die? Whether he died a natural death or he was murdered. All these mysteries, the scientists and the archaeologists are trying to unveil that. Yes, so I'm sure you must have gone through the lesson. Now, let's have a look at the character sketch. By the way, this is the fourth session for this week, English for class 11. So, now let's have a look at the character sketch. Howard Carter. Howard Carter. Now, who was Howard Carter? Howard Carter was an English archaeologist and Egyptologist from Egypt who became famous all over the world after discovering the intact tomb of the 18th dynasty pharaoh Tutankhamun. See, so why did Howard Carter, the archaeologist, why did he become famous? How did he become famous? Because he was the first one to discover the tomb, intact tomb of the pharaoh, that boy king Tutankhamun. King Tut in November 1922. Carter was innovative and scientific in improving the methods of copying tomb decoration at the age of 17. So he was quite skilled at that. In 1899, Carter was appointed to the position of Chief Inspector of the Egyptian Antiquities Service, that is EAS. He supervised a number of excavations at Thebes. See, what is the work of archaeologists? They carry out excavations, and that is how, because of excavations, they come across such things. Like here, he comes across the intact tomb of that pharaoh, that boy king Tut. So that is the work of the archaeologist, and the same work who was doing? Howard Carter. Next. In 1904, he was transferred to the Inspectorate of Lower Egypt. So he was transferred to that post. Carter was praised for his improvements in the protection of and accessibility to existing excavation sites and his development of a grid block system. So he became famous for all his works, all these works. For searching for tombs. So what was the work that he was doing? He was actually searching for tombs. And because he was searching for tombs, he came across the intact tomb of King Tut. That was the work that he did. While investigating the coffin of King Tut, he ran into a lot of troubles. He came across so many problems, so many troubles, but was determined to complete the task. But he was determined. He decided, let anything happen, I am going to complete my task, my work. He tried various ways to continue the process without harming the mummy. So he tried to complete his work without harming the mummy. What is mummy? The preserved dead body is mummy. He decided to chisel away from beneath the limbs and trunk before it was possible to raise the king's image. He decided to chisel away, to remove from beneath, from that under that coffin, under that dead body, the mummy, beneath the limbs and trunk before, because you remember it was resin was put, which was customary, which was a ritual, and that resin, what had happened to that? It had hardened so much that it was as if the dead body was cemented to the coffin. That is the reason it had to be chiseled away, it had to be removed before it was possible to raise the king's remains. So first he decided to do that, to chisel away from under the limbs, from beneath the limbs. Next, let's have a look at the character sketch of who? King Tut. Tutankhamun was the 11th pharaoh of the 18th dynasty of ancient Egypt. He was a small boy, at the time when he became the king. He was made famous due to the discovery of his completely intact tomb by the British archaeologist Howard Carter in 1922. So that is how King Tut became known to everybody. Everyone came to know, the world came to know about who? About King Tut. And it was possible only because of the archaeologist Howard Carter, because he was the one who came across that tomb of King Tut, that boy king. Tut was a teenage heir to the royal throne. He was a successor to the royal throne of Egypt. The family had ruled Egypt for centuries, but Tut died very young. Of course, it is still a mystery how he died. He was the last of the family line. In his family line, he was the last. His father or grandfather, Amenhotep III. See, look at this children, father or grandfather. That means there is doubt about that also. Whether Amenhotep III was his father or his grandfather. Was a powerful pharaoh who ruled for almost 40 years. So, his father or grandfather, who Amenhotep III, ruled for 40 long years. His son Amenhotep IV succeeded him, but he shocked the country by attacking Amun, a major god. What did he do? He smashed the images of God. By smashing his images, whose images? Amun, a god. All his temples, he destroyed his temples, he destroyed his statues. His family had ruled for centuries before the boy King Tut took over. So before Tut took over, his family had ruled for so many years. However, Tut ruled for 9 years and then died unexpectedly. He died unexpectedly. Suddenly he died. Egyptians believed that they could take their riches with them. So Egyptians believed that they could take their riches with them. King Tut was lavish, he was decorated with all the valuables, with all the costly jewels. He was lavish with glittering goods, precious collars, inlaid necklaces and bracelets. These are all part of jewelry. Just put here, you wear it here, you wear it here. Okay. Sandals, sheets for his fingers and toes. His every part of his body was covered with the valuables. In 1922, Howard Carter, a British archaeologist, discovered Tut's tomb after years of futile searching. So many years he went on searching. Finally, he achieved success in discovering his tomb. Its contents remain the pharaoh's. Its contents remain the richest royal collection ever found, because it was all this coffin, his dead body was all decorated with all the costly jewels, gold and all that. And such a thing had never been found and had become part of Pharaoh's legend. All this has become legendary history. Tut's body was also buried with everyday things he would want after life. Board games, bronze razor, linen undergarments, food and wine. No, his dead body was buried with all these things. Why? Because these were the things which he would want after life. So these things were also placed in his coffin. Now children, let's have a look at some of the important word meanings. Difficult words, right? Forensic resurrection. You have this phrase in your text, in the story. What does it mean? It refers to the process of creating a face on the skull and see how the owner of the skull looked like. That is, you create a face on the skull. Why does one do that? Just to see, just to check how the owner looked like. That is the purpose for this forensic resurrection. Next word, next phrase, scarlet across. It refers to moving quickly, quick movement. Here it is a movement of clouds, dark buried clouds. Casket grey. It refers to the covering of the stars by the clouds. That is casket is a covering. Grey, obviously clouds. Funerary treasures. The valuable things with which the king was buried. The most valuable things with which the king was buried. You remember all the gold and amulets, the collars and all those things, very costly. So those things are called funerary treasures. Next word, circumvented. What does it mean? To go around. I'll give you an example. He wondered how they had managed to circumvent legalities in the process, to go around, and obviously it is a war. That's the meaning of circumvent or vented. Next, computed. Computed also is a verb. It denotes some sort of action. To determine by calculation. You find out something by calculations. The accountant computed the whole balance sheet and found it absolutely correct. The accountant computed means he did all the calculations. That is what it means. Next, airy. We have airy details in the story. Airy. Uncanny. It is an adjective. It describes something. Uncanny. So as to inspire superstitious fears. Sometimes you are full of superstitious fears, superstitious beliefs, and those beliefs cause a lot of fear. So that is airy. The airy atmosphere of the deserted street was frightening. The atmosphere of the street where nobody was there, that frightened you. So that is the meaning of airy. Okay children, with that I come to the end of today's session. Now, your assignment. Go through the lesson at least twice. Underline all the difficult words and phrases and write down the meanings of those difficult words in your notebook. And after writing the word meanings, go through the lesson once again. I hope